Transmute lust into legacy and conquer yourself. Philosophy of self-conquest. You've been told to conquer the world, go harder, climb faster, win bigger. But what if the real war isn't out there at all? What if the only enemy standing between you and everything you truly desire is you? That quiet voice of doubt, the impulse that tugs you toward distraction, the subtle fear that whispers, stay safe, stay small. This isn't just about breaking bad habits or chasing fleeting goals. This is about something far more profound. This is the battle of self-conquest. And make no mistake, this internal struggle will either quietly diminish you or it will spectacularly define you. For too long, we've been conditioned to look outward for solutions, for validation, for victory. We've been fed a steady diet of external fixes, of more hustle, more chasing, more external validation. But what if the ultimate victory, the kind that truly sets you free, isn't found in conquering the world, but in mastering yourself? Think about it. We train for careers, for relationships, for physical challenges. But how much time do we spend actively training the most powerful and often most rebellious part of ourselves, our minds? This isn't some abstract spiritual journey. This is practical, tangible power that dictates your finances, your relationships, your health, and your happiness. If you've ever felt stuck, like you're constantly fighting an invisible force, or that despite your efforts, you're not quite reaching your potential, then you're on the right track. Because that feeling, that's the first ripple of awareness that the true battle is unfolding within. And today, we're not just talking about fighting it, we're talking about winning it, once and for all. So, are you ready to stop fighting the world and start conquering the only thing that truly matters? Are you ready to dive deep into the philosophy of self-conquest and unlock a level of power you didn't even know you possessed? Let's get into it. Section 1. The internal battlefield, where true power begins. The fiercest war you will ever fight is fought in silence. It's not in the boardroom, not on the field, and certainly not on social media. It's the war waged right here, between your ears. It's the voice that whispers, "You're not good enough." It's the impulse that pulls you towards a screen when you should be building. It's the nagging fear that keeps you safely tucked away in your comfort zone, preventing you from stepping into your true potential. We've all been there. We've all heard that inner critic, the one that's louder and more persistent than any external detractor. But here's the often missed truth. You don't conquer your goals by simply chasing them harder in the external world. You conquer them by first mastering that voice inside your head. Think of your mind as the ultimate battlefield. Every thought is a soldier. Every belief is a weapon. And just like any war, if your forces are weak, disorganized, and constantly turning on themselves, you're doomed before you even begin. Weak thoughts breed weak actions. Complacent thoughts lead to stagnant lives. It's an undeniable law of the universe. Either you dominate your inner world, or it absolutely will dominate you. And when your inner world is in chaos, your external world will inevitably follow suit. This isn't some abstract concept. Imagine a Navy SEAL like David Goggins. He doesn't talk about conquering mountains. He talks about training his brain like a muscle. He understands that when everything else collapses, when the external circumstances become unbearable, you won't be able to Google your way out of it. You'll either be mentally ready, hardened, focused, and resilient, or you'll be utterly broken by the pressure. This isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving when the going gets tough. It's about building an inner fortress that no external storm can breach. We're living in an age of constant distraction, where every notification, every fleeting thought, every shiny new object vies for control of your attention, and your attention is your most valuable currency. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, your life grows. So, when your thoughts are chaotic, scattered, and self-defeating, what kind of life are you truly building? Are you directing your energy towards what you want, or are you leaking it away in endless internal squabbles? This isn't a fight you can afford to lose. This is the foundational battle. So, let me ask you directly. Who's really in control of your life, you or your thoughts? Are you a conscious commander of your inner domain, or a passenger on a runaway train of uncontrolled thinking? The answer to that question dictates everything. Section 2. Embracing discomfort. the hidden door to greatness. Here's a universal truth we all wrestle with. We all crave growth, but none of us truly want the pain that comes with it. We want the sculpted physique without the burning muscles. We want the thriving business without the sleepless nights and rejections. We want deep, meaningful relationships without the vulnerability and difficult conversations. Yet if you look at every single story of genuine transformation, of real, lasting achievement, you'll see a common thread. Pain is the forge where true power is made. Real power. Lasting confidence. The kind of inner fortitude you can't fake, buy, or borrow. Think about it this way. Growth happens on the other side of resistance. Just as a muscle only grows stronger when it's pushed beyond its current capacity, your character, your resilience, and your mental toughness only develop when you confront and move through discomfort. It's the uncomfortable conversations that strengthen relationships. It's the uncomfortable hours spent studying or practicing that lead to mastery. It's the uncomfortable feeling of rejection that sharpens your vision and redirects your path towards what truly serves you. Struggle doesn't just reveal character, it builds it. Suffering doesn't just hurt, it sharpens your vision, helping you see what truly matters and what you're truly capable of. The hardest moments, they're not setbacks, they're not punishments, they're not signs that you should quit. They are, in fact, assignments. They are carefully designed challenges, tailor-made to sculpt you into the stronger, wiser, and more powerful version of yourself you are destined to become. Consider the words of the legendary Denzel Washington. From fear comes courage. From suffering, strength. He wasn't just talking about acting, he was talking about life. Every time you consciously lean into an uncomfortable situation, whether it's waking up early, having a difficult conversation, starting that project you've been procrastinating on, or pushing through an extra rep, you are actively building your internal strength. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. You are showing that inner voice of fear that you are the one in charge. This isn't about masochism, it's about strategic discomfort. It's about understanding that the path of least resistance often leads to a life of least fulfillment. So I need you to seriously consider this. What if every challenge you're avoiding right now, every uncomfortable step you're hesitant to take, is the very thing designed to make you absolutely unstoppable? What if the growth you desire is waiting for you just beyond that wall of initial discomfort? Section 3. Discipline is freedom. Choose your master. We live in a world that constantly sells us a distorted version of freedom. The narrative goes something like this. Freedom is doing whatever you want, whenever you want, without any rules or constraints. Freedom is endless choice, endless indulgence, endless instant gratification. But let me tell you something vital. That's not freedom. That's a gilded cage. That's enslavement to impulse. If you are constantly pulled by every fleeting desire, every craving, every external stimulus, then you are not free. You are a slave to your lowest urges. You are controlled by the very things you claim to be free from. True freedom, the kind that gives you dominion over your life and allows you to create the reality you desire, is found on the path of discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is power. It is the sword of the self-conqueror. It is what separates the men and women of destiny from the men and women of distraction. Think about it. When you wake up at 4:30 a.m. to work on your dream while others are still sleeping, that's discipline. When you choose to skip the party and instead build your business, that's discipline. When you say no to the immediate gratification of a sugary treat or endless scrolling, and yes to the long-term vision of a healthy body or a focused mind, that is discipline. It's saying yes to the future when your present body and mind scream no. As Andrew Tate famously said, discipline is not punishment, it is power. It's the ultimate act of self-love, because you are consciously choosing to create a better future for yourself, even when it's hard. It's the difference between reacting to life and actively creating it. Without discipline, your goals remain wishes, your dreams remain fantasies, and your potential remains untapped. You become a leaf blown by every gust of wind, rather than a ship sailing purposefully towards its destination. It allows you to build the habits that build your empire, to forge the routines that craft your legacy, and to develop the inner strength that makes you truly formidable. So, I need you to ask yourself with brutal honesty, are you truly free, or are you just ungoverned? Are you the master of your actions, or are your actions mastering you? The answer will reveal the true extent of your perceived freedom. Section 4. Facing the shadow. Becoming whole by integrating the unseen. We all do it. We compartmentalize. We hide parts of ourselves. The fears, the embarrassing desires, the raw rage, the buried shame. We push them down, hoping they'll just disappear. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Buried doesn't mean gone. Whatever you won't face, whatever you refuse to acknowledge within yourself, will inevitably control you from the depths of your unconscious mind. It will show up in your relationships, in your self-sabotage, in your anxieties, and in your inability to reach your full potential. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung called this hidden aspect of our personality the shadow. It's the unconscious part of ourselves that our conscious ego doesn't identify with. It contains everything we deem unacceptable or unworthy, our perceived weaknesses, our darker impulses, even our unexpressed creativity and unacknowledged power. But here's the profound twist in the journey of self-conquest. It's not about perfection. It's not about eliminating your shadow. It's about integration. It's about bringing awareness to these hidden parts, understanding them, and ultimately choosing how you want to channel their energy. Only by embracing what you've denied, only by shining a light into the darkest corners of your own psyche, can you become truly whole. Only then can you access the full spectrum of your power. Think about the implications. Would you rather fail in reality by perpetually sabotaging yourself through unaddressed patterns, or succeed in a lie, constantly running from the authentic, whole version of yourself? Because hiding your shadow guarantees the second. It means living a life that is fundamentally fractured, constantly using energy to suppress parts of yourself that are clamoring for attention. The very parts you deny hold immense power and wisdom. When you integrate your shadow, you no longer waste energy fighting yourself. You reclaim that energy and redirect it towards creation, towards purpose, towards building the life you truly desire. This is deep work, uncomfortable work, but it is fundamentally liberating. It's about accepting that you are a complex, multifaceted being, and that true strength comes from acknowledging all of you, not just the parts you deem palatable. So ask yourself this, with courage and honesty: what part of yourself have you been afraid to look at, afraid to acknowledge, afraid to face? And what could happen? What boundless potential could be unlocked if you finally dared to look at it? Section 5. Transmute your energy. Turning desire into destiny. Let's talk about desire. Lust, hunger, obsession. Society often tells us these are problems, things to be suppressed, things to be ashamed of. But what if I told you that these primal forces are not your enemies? What if I told you they are, in fact, raw, unfiltered power? Untamed, yes, they can burn you, consume you, lead you down paths of indulgence and regret. But channeled correctly, they can launch you into unimaginable greatness. This is the essence of energy transmutation. This concept has been understood by kings, mystics, and creators throughout history. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, spoke extensively about what he called sexual transmutation. The powerful idea that the very same energy that fuels our physical desires can be redirected, transmuted, and channeled into creative pursuits, into building empires, into achieving monumental goals. This isn't about denial, it's about redirection. It's about understanding that the intensity of your cravings, the depth of your desires, the ferocity of your ambition is not a flaw, it is fuel. It is an immense reservoir of creative, productive energy. Imagine a raging fire. If left uncontrolled, it can devastate everything in its path. But if that same fire is harnessed, put into an engine, used to forge steel or to generate light, it becomes a force for incredible creation and progress. Your desires are that fire. They can burn you out through endless indulgence and distraction, or they can launch you into a life of purpose and profound achievement. Legacy begins where indulgence ends. It's about making a conscious choice to take that intense energy, that primal drive, and funnel it into something bigger than yourself, something that leaves a lasting impact. It's about understanding that the very things that tempt you can also empower you if you learn to become their master rather than their slave. Napoleon Hill so powerfully stated, "This fire wasn't given to you to waste in indulgence. It was meant to build empires. So, what would your life look like if you turned every craving, every powerful desire, every intense longing into focused, relentless creativity? What magnificent empire could you build by channeling that raw energy? Section 6. Renew your mind. The death of the old you. Here's a challenging but ultimately liberating truth. For the real you to truly rise, for the most powerful, authentic, and purposeful version of yourself to emerge, the old you must die. That scared version of you, that reactive, easily triggered, addicted, or lazy version of you, that version of you that constantly seeks external validation or makes excuses. He doesn't get to run the show anymore. And if you're holding on to him, clinging to the comfortable but stagnant patterns of the past, you're preventing your own rebirth. This concept isn't just spiritual, it's profoundly psychological. The Bible, in Romans 12:2, speaks of the renewal of the mind, not just for spiritual transformation, but for a complete shift in how we perceive and interact with the world. It's about consciously dismantling outdated beliefs, unhelpful narratives, and self-limiting identities that you've accumulated over years. This isn't about forgetting your past, it's about refusing to let it dictate your future. And often, God or the universe uses brokenness as blueprints for breakthrough. Your lowest moments, those times when you felt utterly defeated, stripped bare, or lost, they are not the end. They are not signs of failure. They are, in fact, the excavation of who you really are. They are the moments when the old, brittle structures crack, allowing space for something new, something stronger, something more aligned with your true potential to be built. Think of it like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The old phoenix isn't patched up. It completely disintegrates so that a new, more magnificent creature can be reborn from its essence. This is a deliberate, courageous act of choosing to shed the skin of your past self, to let go of the stories that no longer serve you, and to embrace the unknown potential of who you are becoming. It requires a willingness to grieve the loss of who you thought you were, even if that version was limiting. It requires radical honesty and an unwavering commitment to growth. So, I urge you to reflect deeply on this. What outdated version of yourself are you still defending? What old story are you clinging to, even though it's holding you back from the extraordinary life that awaits you? The moment you truly let go is the moment your new, powerful reality can begin to form. Section 7. Conclusion. We've journeyed through the unseen battlefields of the mind, embraced the crucible of discomfort, understood that discipline is not a prison, but the ultimate key to freedom, stared down the shadows within, and learned to transmute raw desire into destiny. We've even confronted the necessity of letting the old self die for the new to be born. What we've uncovered together is not just a series of psychological hacks or spiritual insights. It's a foundational philosophy of self-conquest. It's the ultimate blueprint for taking back control of your life. For too long, you've been lied to. You were never meant to be controlled by fear, by fleeting cravings, by the limitations of your past, or by the opinions of others. You were never meant to be a passive consumer of life, simply reacting to whatever comes your way. No, you were meant to rule, to lead, to consciously, deliberately, and powerfully become the architect of your own reality. The ultimate victory in this life isn't found in external triumphs alone. It's found when you own your mind, when you master your emotions, when you command your impulses, and when you integrate every single part of who you are. When you achieve that profound level of self-mastery, you become truly unstoppable. The internal war doesn't end when you win every single skirmish. It ends when you surrender to the undeniable truth of who you were born to be. A sovereign, a creator, a force of nature. This is the powerful shift from being a slave to your instincts and circumstances to becoming the undisputed sovereign of your own existence. Self-conquest is not a one-time event or a finish line you cross. It's a mindset. It's a daily discipline. It's a relentless, unwavering commitment to growth. It's a divine appointment with the highest, most authentic version of who you truly are. You don't find freedom in the chaotic demands of the external world. You forge it fiercely and deliberately inside yourself. And every single time you choose mastery over mediocrity, every time you choose control over chaos, every time you choose purpose over fleeting impulse, you are not just changing your life. You are becoming a force the world cannot ignore. You are becoming a beacon, an example, a living testament to the power of the human spirit when it chooses to truly lead itself. This is your journey. This is your power. And this is your moment. Now, if this message resonated deep within your soul, if it sparked something in you, if it made you feel like you just unlocked a secret power you always knew was there, don't let this feeling fade. This isn't just another video you watched. This is a catalyst. This is a call to action for your life. So, here's what I need you to do right now to solidify this commitment. First, if you gained any value from this, if this ignited even a spark within you, hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. Second, if you know someone who's fighting their own silent battle, someone who needs to hear that true power comes from within, then share this video with them. Be the catalyst for their own transformation. Third, for more insights, more strategies, and to join a growing tribe of individuals dedicated to self-mastery and building extraordinary lives, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next powerful message. And finally, I want to hear from you. In the comments below right now, tell me, what part of yourself are you ready to conquer starting today? Is it fear, procrastination, self-doubt, a hidden shadow, or something else entirely? Share your commitment, because this isn't just a video. It's a movement. It's a tribe of people rising from within to lead from without, creating lives of purpose, power, and genuine wealth, not just in their bank accounts, but in their souls. Welcome to the age of self-mastery. The journey begins now. See you next time.